Hey, Anxious Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. From time to time, even as professionals, we have to admit that we messed up. Yeah, so the last video I showed you how I was building my standalone fertilizing system for my hanging baskets at my home. And it is a scaled down version of the one that I used at the school. Except, there seems to be just one problem. Give you a headphone warning. This is going to be loud because I'm going to run the pump. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to do that. What happened is a couple years ago when I went through and purchased the 1/4-inch drip line to put drip lines at my home, I grabbed soaker hose drip line. So about every 5 to 6 inches or so, it's got a little pinhole in it on purpose to let water out. So that's exactly what it does, is it lets water out about every 6 inches on the line. And it is on every single tube that I put in. Every single one of them leaks. Every single one of them leaks. So I've got 7 of them to go through and replace. I can't repair them. I've got to simply replace them because there's too many leaks. I'm not going to wrap tape. I'm not going to try to seal the holes. I've just got to go through and replace them. So I figured it'd be a good time for me to show you what I was doing as far as laying out the system and kind of how that all goes together. We'll do a nice close-up, and then I'll take some time when it cools off later this evening to put the new fertilizer drip tubes back in the pots. So yeah, it's not supposed to do that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the materials that we're going to be using for this. So this is my 1/4-inch poly micro tubing. This is what we make all of the individual drip lines out of. It's not the main supply, but this is what runs to each basket. Make sure it doesn't say soaker hose or drip line or anything like that. You want the solid tube, and that was my mistake from last time. Next, we're going to be using some 1/4-inch adjustable drippers. This allows me to change the pattern of the spray in the basket. And it's one of 2 ways that I can kind of turn down the pressure. So it's 0 to 14 gallons per hour. We're only wanting about a ½ gallon per basket. So it's going to take me a while to get those dialed in. When I did it earlier, this system is running first story and second story baskets. And that was definitely running longer after everything shut off. So those will have to have less flow on them down there. So that's one of the ways I'll set that. Next, I have inline shutoff valves. So if you have an issue with any of the lines, you can shut them off individually, or if you decide not to have a basket in that location, that's where we do a shutoff line. Okay, there's those. I've got 7 of them, which is why I've got a bunch there. Okay, so what we're going to make is this drip tube here. So out of that 1/4-inch material. With this is kind of measured specifically to the needs of my home. So this lead section before my valve is about 12 inches long. So that's where that is. And then the rest of this, let's see if I can get that all the way out. Is right about 58 inches. So that should be long enough for almost every single one of my baskets to be able to reach them from where the drip tube is. If I am a little shy, I can always add another little section on here. But I'm going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of these. So this is number 1, and I'll walk you through all the rest of them as we make those. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut about a 12-inch section of this 1/4-inch poly tubing. And this doesn't have to be absolutely precise. Close enough is good enough. So right about there. You can use PVC cutters. You can use a knife. One of the things I find is hand pruners actually work really good to do a nice cut on there. So there is our 12-inch piece. And then I'm going to just kind of hook it in this table I'm working on. And that gives me right about 58 inches for that. So it's just kind of all one thing together. Okay. So I've got my long piece here. I'm going to take one of my 1/4-inch shut-off valves. And I like to do this on a warmer day where this tubing has a chance to soften up in the sunshine. And to put those together, it is just a push connection. So you kind of push and worry it together like that. And that's how you make those connections. They are really super easy. It's kind of mauled. I'm going to clean that up just a little bit. See if I can get that. There we go. It's a much better cut. Just push. Okay. So that puts my valve in the middle. Then I have to have my connector to go into my poly tube. And I'm using these 1/4-inch push connectors, so you can kind of see what that looks like there. There's the bag of those. The valve, where's the valve? This was the bag for the valve that I put in there. And always put a shut-off valve in line for them. Okay, this goes in the end, and I'm putting this on the short end. It does take some significant hand strength. If you are someone that suffers with like arthritis or strength issues, I would definitely phone a friend, someone younger that can do that for you. So there's our 2 connectors so far. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put on our dripper. And that is our adjustable dripper right there. It also has a push barb on it. You put that on there and just push that one in. Worry it back and forth. And there is our completed drip line. So there are no holes in this one, so these shouldn't leak. The other thing is, as far as where I messed up, I do have what's called a goof plug. So these are barbs that have no hole in them, and you can put them in where you've accidentally made a hole to plug that hole so that it doesn't leak. So I can kind of pull those other drip tubes out and put these in if I want. But what I'm going to try to do is actually cut off the tube and connect with it directly with what's already in there to try to cut down on the number of holes in my tubing so I don't have to rerun all that tubing. So I'm going to go ahead and make 4 more of these, and I'll go ahead and do that just kind of quickly so that you can see that happen, and then we'll go and install the new ones. Kind of convenient, the table's got 1/4-inch gaps. Four of those on my 1-foot pieces. So we're back. Let's go ahead and try to work on replacing this one. This one again is one of the ones that has the drip holes in it, and I'm hoping I can just go ahead and cut this somewhere up in here. I think I feel one of the drip holes there. It's hard to tell. Or I may just try to pull this one out. If I do mess up, it means I'm going to have to do connections over all of them. So maybe we'll just try a gentle tug. All right, let's cross our fingers, hope that works. I'll try putting this one back in. This is a non-drippy one. And we'll hope that that tubing seals up on its own. I'm going to go ahead and open those valves up. Maybe not all the way. I'll close this one. Oh, this is the ones that just spin. Yeah. Okay, hopefully aligning that up is that way. Then I'll adjust this one all the way down and then adjust it out slightly. Okay, hopefully that works for that one. And there's plenty of reach for that, so we don't have to adjust. So this is our clear water, and that runs 4 times a day. And this is going to be our fertilizer water, and it's going to run once a day. I may switch the baskets to 2 times a day on their watering, and then run this 1 time a day, but for longer in the middle of the day. We'll see how that works out. But I think right now I'm just going to leave these out so I can see them work. In the past, I've used different systems to fertilize this. This was a gravity feed system. So I'm removing the gravity feed system. It just worked on a constant slow drip. And this one is going to be a power feed on the drip. I think I'm going to really don't want to keep doing that. That's where that dripper is. Maybe I'll get lucky and there won't be another one. I think I'm going to cut this one like right here. Try to do that. Put a new one in there. See if we can just put it in there without pulling out one of the other ones. We'll see which method works best. Okay. Gotta be kidding me. I just picked up the other one. Dang, nabbit. All right, let's try that again. All right, take 2. Oh gosh. And yeah, you're gonna get wet when you do this. Let's open that valve up. I'll just line it up there. And in and then slightly out. Okay, hopefully that'll work on that one. And we'll move down to the next one and see how that one goes. Yeah, this is what I was hoping to avoid. I don't know if you can see it or if it's focusing. There's a hole right there, right at the base of that barb. So that barb's got to come out. So it's just going to have to come right back out. All right, well, all of the new drip tubes have been put in place. They've all been roughly adjusted, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and we'll see if we have any leaks. And I'll take you around for the journey, and we'll see what's going on. Yeah. That one's working there, no leaks there. No leaks there. No leaks there. Yeah, that's gonna leak. We'll give it a little chance to seal up, see what happens on that one. I may have to put a bigger plug in it. Yep, no leaks on that one. Yeah, a little bit of a leak up there. It should be. No leak on that one. And no leak on this one. Okay. All right, so we've got them all plugged up. There's only one that's leaking. That's one of my patches, but I can go ahead and... All right, so there you go. We've got that system all patched up now. What I'm going to work on next is to do some fertilizer mixing. Get that in there in the tank, and then I'll adjust the nozzles, put them in the baskets, and we'll run a fertilizer batch in them. And then I'll have to start coordinating between the two different systems of which one runs where. Anyway, hope you're enjoying. Hope you learned something. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.